Afternoon, back in the shed where I like to be, pissing about. What have I been up to? Well, showing you this was in here last time, I'll give you a quick walk around, but I've had the screen removed. So the screen's out now, ready for me to start welding down the front, because I've got to match up the forward bulkhead to the Subaru bulkhead. It's not far off, there's like, I don't know, in places, 1/2 inch, in some places 2 inches. So I've got to go along there, bridge it, and put the bulkheads together. But the windscreen man was impressed, because he said every old Ford he's took a windscreen out, it was pretty much rotten on this panel here. This is solid, man, even the A-posts, solid. That's why I like this, because the top of the van was solid, the bottom of the Subaru was pretty solid, so we took the best of both, you know. Had some rot on the bottom of the van, we had some rot on the top of Subaru. That's gone. So that's my next job, potter about in there. But also, I've been busy this afternoon. Painted the second quarter of the workshop. So we've got half of it done now, right down the middle. Logistically, you have to move stuff around, so I've had to move everything back out of here. Obviously, you've got to paint around the four-post. So there's 2 legs on the paint that's already painted. So when I move this back, there's going to be 2 little spaces under there that need painting. Yeah. So that's first coat today. I'm guessing she'll need a second coat tomorrow, because that quarter that I did took 2 coats, so I reckon this will need another coat tomorrow. So I think that's taken up 1 tub of paint. I've painted up to just underneath the doors at the minute. Concrete goes outside of these doors, well, 1 foot or 2, so I don't know if I run the paint across that 2 foot, or I leave it, tape it up, a nice line under the doors, and then I might paint that green when I paint the doors green. I don't know, we'll see. But that's my floor, it's looking good, I'm pretty chuffed with that. Like I said, logistically, you've got to move stuff around. So what I'm going to do tomorrow as well, I'm going to move this racking away from the wall a couple of feet. I'm going to paint down there. Just because when I do that quarter, everything will come forward. I paint that quarter, everything rolls, everything's rolling in there. But when I paint this quarter, I don't really want to be dragging those down there, because they're full. If I can just mudge them over and push them back. So when I come to paint this quarter, that'll already be done. I won't have to paint under there, do you know? Yeah, logistics, man, logistics, we're getting there. And like I said, you have to leave it like a week. You can put stuff on this paint 48 hours after the final coat, but you don't really want to be pissing about on it for a week after. It says 7 days to cure, so I left that 7 days. So I'll leave this 7 days to cure properly as well. But we're getting there, Oh, the windscreen man, when he was here, he did something else for me. I'll show you 1 second. My F2, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but there's a windscreen in there now, rear windscreen. In my fiberglass boots on my F2. It's never had a window in it, so it's nice to have it buttoned up. It's got heated front, heated rear glass. Haven't gone for a Perspex rear, because they scratch, man. And when you're racing on track and you're looking in your rear view, last thing you want to do is daze by scratches. So I kept the glass in the back, and the glass, it's not double glazed in the back, so it weighs hardly anything anyway. I've got a Perspex one in the field up there, weighs the same as the glass one, so kept glass in the back. All I've got to do is put the nice brand new, because this is old, brand new Perspex windows in that I got. I'm pretty chuffed with that, because first time my F2's had glass in the back, so soon it'll have 6 windows in, be all buttoned up, weatherproof, which would be nice. I don't think it's ever had 6 windows in it. We're getting there, but I can't wait for this floor to be done, because I don't know if you can see. Coming off that side onto this side, just dusty footprints everywhere, so I can't wait to be able to mop this floor, you know, when it's, I'm not going to mop this, or any of it, until it's fully painted. Once it's fully painted, I'll start mopping. Give it a good clean up. But we're getting there. This toolbox will be gone out my way soon as well. That's Jack's. You know, the lad who sent me Subaru van. He left his job, so I said I'd store that for him. But he's got another job. Well, I say another job. He's working somewhere else now, so I think he'll want to take that with him. So get it out of my way. I have a lot more room then. So I've got enough of my own toolboxes. Yeah. Getting there, man. Getting there. Oh, one more thing over here to show you. One sec. Look at that, baby. Been putting this together for my pal Paul. I think. Can't remember. It was last year, sometime when he dropped this off. It's been here a long time, you know. Like I said, take my time with things potting around. Nothing gets rushed. But this is a 600 plus brake horsepower N7i 2 litre. There's a lot of secrets going on inside I'm not going to tell you about. Well, don't tell anybody about it. But outside there's stuff you can see. Crazy Cage does me some amazing manifolds, equal length, side winders. This is a V-band. Really nice turbo. I think this is rated 550 to 750, this turbo. Yeah, nice turbo, man. I'll show what's going on here. Casts Andrew ALD thermostat housing, which I modify. I put my AN12, AN20 fittings on. So that means you have to run AN20 off the block. I also run AN12 off my water gallery. AN10 down there. Breather. Don't know if you can see that. AN10 breather. Because this is going to be pushing so much power, 2 breathers, so we've got another AN10 there. Returns. Oh, loads of things going on, man. Breather and AN10 on the cams. This will be running coil on plug, so I have a coil on plug adapter plate in there. A few things got left to do. Waiting for a timing, but lower oil chain tension to come from Burton Power because I can't find any in my stock. Got to put top chain cover on, bottom chain cover on, bottom pulley. Dig out the washers that go in here. Can't find them at the moment. They're around here somewhere. And that's it for that. But I've got to mate this to a gearbox. So I've got to mate it to a Focus RS MTX75 gearbox. Which means I've got to take the bell housing off of I've got, because I want to run front mounted starter motor. Got another gearbox, which is MTX75 with a front mounted starter out of Focus. So I'm going to take that bell housing off that, put it on the Focus box, mate it up to this, then measure the difference between the thrust bearing and the pressure plate compared to, say, RS2000. Make sure, I might have to make a spacer up for my thrust bearing. It's hydraulic clutch, so I might have to make a spacer up. I can't remember exactly. I think it was like a 10mm or something like that. Oh, and the inlet's coming. It's dropping off the inlet. I've got to modify the inlet for this. I think it was, again, many years ago, ALD made him an inlet, Andrew. It uses and utilises the standard EFI fuel roll, which is not good enough for this anymore, unless I can get good enough injectors, side fed, 1000cc minimum injectors for this side fed. We'll have a look. If not, and I'll get some deckers in there and I'll modify it with some top feed deckers. We'll see. That's a nice engine, man. Can't wait to see him pull running it, but like, won't be any day soon. It's been on the go for years. It's getting there. Right. I think that's it. I've got some more decorative stuff up in my unit. Look, got some pictures up. Got my snap-on spanner up there. Yeah, just me messing with my motor, so I'll be pissing about with that soon. So yeah, that's an update from me at the moment. Cheers. Afternoon, back again. Really, I haven't touched that, even though it's turned around. I'll show you what I've been up to. MK5 RS2000. This is my Jim's car for 20 years. Jim had this 20 years, man. I don't know how many of you remember my first RS2000 many years ago, talking like, I don't know, 17 years ago, something like that. Called Lucifer. Anyway, I sold it and it got rolled and crashed, and the engine ended up in this car of Jim's for many years, but it's not in there now. Now Jamie owns it, and Jamie was having trouble driving it. He can drive it, and he says he come up to junctions and things, it's stall. So Jamie had inlet gaskets, injector seals with him, exhaust gasket. He had a load of gaskets and seals with him. So Sunday, we dropped the inlet off, replaced all the inlet. The temperature sandwich plate wasn't very good, so put a new temperature plate on, new gaskets, new injector seals, checked out the loom, and then basically went up the road with Jamie for a test drive. It drove right there up the road, and then went to turn around, come back, and it was on its arse. Wouldn't go over 3,000 revs. So that's either loom breaking down or something's restricting the engine from revving. So he's changed coil packs, he's changed idle speed control valve, he's changed leads, plugs, he's changed everything, Jamie has. So I was like, what could it be next? So I stripped the loom and I plugged the loom back in. Took it out of its casing, stripped it. I stripped it because there was smoke coming out of that area there. Like we had a puff of smoke come up, and it smelled electrical, you know. So I was like, turn it off. We stripped the loom, put it back on, and the loom was on the top, and there was no faults, man. I was like, what's going on? What's going on? So as we turned the car around here, saw a bit of honeycomb come out of the tailpipe. So cat's breaking down. Didn't know it had a cat on it. It's still got a cat. It's a year into the cat regs. So it was either again loom or cat. So cat came off. The wife saw all this blue that's not going to be needed. Put the cat on here. Swapped a loom for another Mark 5 loom off another Mark 5 that I know is good. Drives mint. Put this loom back on. Same, drives okay. I did have a little splutter at one point. It held back at one point. It was driving, but it held back at one point. So I'm not 100% on that loom. But again, I've driven it. I've driven up to 6,500 in first, second, third, and fourth. Got her hot, and again, I don't know if she had a bit of crap in the exhaust from the honeycomb that needed to be blown out a bit more, but it seems fine now. So yeah, it's a really nice car. Well presented Mark 5 RS2000. It's really nice, man. Oh, it's locked. Where's the key? Look at that. Nice old school Recaros. It's got a tape deck. It's got tapes in. You know what I mean? And you wouldn't believe how old the owner is, Jamie. To enjoy the retro stuff like that. He's only a young lad. Which is nice to see young people owning these cars, man. Because a lot of young people aren't interested. But Jamie's dad's got a nice Capri. Like a Mark III Capri with a V8 in it. So he's into his old school cars. So yeah. Pissed about with that today, and I'm hoping that'll be it. Honestly, it's driving lovely now. It really is. Tidy motor. A few things he's got to change. Going to put a new rocker cover on, cam cover. It's been on a Mark 6 at some point because it's rubbed. It's got to move a couple of wires earths. But other than that, it's really nice, man. I like it. I like it a lot. You know me and RS2000s, man. Anybody's got one. I like it. I don't think I've found an RS2000 I don't like yet. So yeah. Jamie's RS2000. Back on the road. Well, it wasn't off the road. He drove it here, but he had to get a train home. Bless him. So, that's done. Cheers.